Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Shari. I'm back with you for another week. Today we're going to talk about someone who speaks with authority. Now when we think of somebody who speaks with authority, it's usually a person who knows a lot about something. They're kind of someone you can rely on, someone that knows what they're talking about. Okay, I'm gonna give you some examples, all right? Now what I want you to do is think, I'm gonna give you a question and then I'm gonna give you two answers to choose from. And I want you to think about which one you would choose. Okay, here it is. Who should you listen to about going to bed? Should it be 1, your friend, or 2, your parents? Now think about that. Who should you listen to when you go to bed? If you said 2, your parents, you're right. Because your parents are the authoritative of you. They know when it's time that you should go to bed. All right, here's another question. Who should you listen to about doing your homework? 1, should you listen to your friends? Or 2, should you listen to your teacher? If you chose 2, you're right. You should listen to what your teacher says. All right? Now, who should you listen to if you need to cross the street to get to your friend's house? Should you 1, listen to your parents? Or 2, should you listen to your friends? You chose 1, you're right. Because your parents are going to be there watching to make sure that you cross the street safely. Last one. Who should you listen to about being healthy? Okay, number 1, should it be the clerk at the grocery store? Or 2, should it be a doctor? Think about that. If you chose 2, the doctor, you are correct. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our story today. And our story takes place in the New Testament of the Bible. And if you remember, we keep going through this, the Bible is divided into 2 parts, the Old Testament and the New Testament. We're still in the New Testament. And our lesson today is from Mark 1:21 through 28. Okay, Jesus and the 4 fishermen came to the town of Capernaum, and they went into the temple. Now, a temple is a synagogue, or kind of like a church, where people go to learn and worship God, just like we do in our church. Well, as Jesus spoke, the people were astonished. And the reason why they were astonished is he spoke with such authority, just like your parents do when they tell you to go to bed, or when they tell you to brush your teeth, or when they tell you, no, don't argue with your brother or sister. They speak with authority, and Jesus did that. And what was even better is when he started teaching them and preaching to them, they understood what he was saying. And they weren't used to that. They were used to the scribes who just told them everything they did wrong, no matter how hard they tried. And they were able to understand this man called Jesus. Well, all of a sudden, there was this loud noise. A man shouted at Jesus. And Jesus continued to speak. And the man said with a loud voice, "What do you have to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come here to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Now this man had a problem. He had an unclean spirit. There was something in him that made him talk and act this way. Well, Jesus turned toward the man and in a very authoritative voice said, "Spirit, come out of him." And the unclean spirit came out of the man with a loud noise. The turned and looked at each other and they said, "Who is this man? Who is this Jesus of Nazareth? Why is he here? His message is so good. We love to hear him. He has a wonderful story to tell." And they also said, and he even had authority over that unclean spirit that was inside of this man. Well, because of this incident, news of Jesus spread throughout the land. Everyone wanted to see who this Jesus of Nazareth was. Now, that's our story for today, but I have something for all of you who like to do a little craft. You're going to need some pencils, and you're going to need a marker if your parents give you permission. Pair of scissors, and mom and dad might have to help some of you who are younger. Crayons, and maybe a little circle-like thing. You could use a glass, the bottom of a glass, because you're going to need to trace this circle. You're going to need paper, white paper, and if you have construction paper, you can use that too. The first thing you're going to do is take this little circle, and you're going to trace it onto a sheet of paper like this. And you'll just take your pencil and trace around it. And after you do that, maybe mom and dad can help you make your petals, okay? And they can also, or you can do it, many of you know how to draw a stem with leaves on it. You can do that as well. And you should have about 6 leaves. Now I put a few more in this one and a few more in this one. Now this one is just done with crayons and a marker. And we're going to title this Growing with Jesus. And I want you to think of 6 things that you can do to grow with Jesus. All right, on this one, I have love others, follow Jesus's example, be kind. And on this one, I put, you can share God's stories. You can do something nice to someone who's older. Obey mom and dad. Show love by being a good friend. Read and study God's word and be kind to others. And I'm sure with your mom and dad, you can sit there and come up with other things. Now, if you don't like to do crafts, you can just write those things down. Think of 6 things that you can do to grow with Jesus, to show that you want to become more like Jesus. Now, I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday. And I hope you're enjoying these lessons. We've got more to come. Bye now.